So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take this piece of paper and the right direction, like the direction that all the pieces are cut for, when you have this piece of paper laying down and you're ready to start gluing things onto it, your mousse is going to be facing the right. So when you lay it down, you want your mousse to be facing right. Everything else will fall into place as we go. So you can lay your piece of paper down with your mousse facing right. And then the first piece of paper that we're going to glue down is this dark blue rectangle. It's got a little like slit cut out of it. And then you'll notice if you look down at your white piece of cardstock that there's also a much thinner, like this one actually has like a hole in it. This one just has a literal like line cut out of it. There's no actual paper missing. And you're going to take this and you're going to center it onto there and you're going to glue it right down. Keeping in mind that there's score lines on this white paper and you want to make sure you don't put the cardstock over, so just make sure that like when you fold these you have it actually properly centered so that your folds will fold over top of the cardstock. So you have to make sure that it's properly centered on there, otherwise your score lines, like your perforation lines, won't fold in. Once you've glued that one down, you can fold your loon tab in front of the blue cardstock. And this one is going to be the light blue rectangle that we're going to glue down. And the sort of little hole there is going to line up on top of the slit in that paper, and that's sort of offset to the left. So it's pretty close to center, but it's actually a little bit to the left. So if yours is facing a little bit to the right, then you've got it upside down. And you'll want to use score tape for this one, like Monica had mentioned earlier. It is like when it's assembled, it is at a bit of a curve. So there's an extra pull on that adhesive. It's going to want to pop off of your cardstock, so you need to be using a nice, strong, heavy adhesive to hold that down snugly. Especially on the edges, the two outer edges. And then once you've glued that one down, you can fold the very indistinguishable shape, but it's actually a little beaver. That tab over in front of the light blue, and that one's the one that's going to have this red with the maple leaf. This one's pretty easy to tell which direction is up because obviously the maple leaf is facing the right direction, and you just line it up right along the outer edge of this card and along the bottom, glue it down, and that's the three pieces of cardstock. And same thing, this one also has a curve to it when it's assembled, so you'll want to use a stronger adhesive to hold it in place. Once you've glued those down, these animals are pretty self-explanatory. The moose goes on top of the moose, the loon goes on top of the loon, and the beaver on top of the beaver. And I did not put any adhesive on the beaver tail. And that's it. Once you've glued all your pieces down, then you'll see that there's little tabs on the outer edges of each of these two little pockets or tabs, and they just tuck into the slits that we've left open on the other elements. And then your card just sits like that. Ta-da!